Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com. In the Senate runoff race in Georgia, incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock projected to win re-election. And a jury in New York has found the Trump Organization guilty of all charges in a sweeping 15-year tax fraud scheme. And in Washington, U.S. Capitol Police officers awarded the Congressional Gold Medal Tuesday for their heroism in the January 6th insurrection.
Let's look on the outside live view from Port Lavaca, Nautical Lanes Marina. Seeing the clouds there in the distance and also the fog, thick fog down there along the coast and here in Victoria as well. Fog advisory till 9 a.m. Be careful out there. What does the rest of the day hold for Port Lavaca and your area? We'll take a look coming up.
We started with 19 football teams. Now there's only 3 remaining. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain. Today is the 7th day of December 2022. The time is now 6:31 on your Wednesday morning. And on this day, in 1787, the state of Delaware became the first state to ratify the U.S. Constitution. A fun fact there. Let's go ahead and turn to First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Trey Mining. Trey, have you been to Delaware?
Sure have. Passed through on the way to. When I was a kid for the first time, we went driving to New York City, passed through Washington, Delaware, Baltimore area, and on up to New York. And I've several times as an adult been on through there. So it's a nice place, of course, nice state. And the first state, as always, 6-7 degrees on the outside, foggy conditions. Usually winds rather calm to almost about 3 to 5 miles per hour. Dew points in the 60s as well, 6-7 degrees. Temperature and dew point meeting. That means foggy conditions. That's the ingredient of that. And definitely seeing that as the fog advisory still remains in effect until 9 a.m. for the counties, including Victoria and Jackson County, also Matagorda County and Wharton County, Goliad, Northern Refugio, Northern Calhoun, B County, and counties of South and West. You know what you need to do. We say it every time. We want you to remember it. It's low headlight beams, please, and also reduce your speed. Visibility is still rather sucked in with fog through the 7 a.m. hour. By 8 and 9 o'clock, the fog begins to dissipate on through, but more fog forming early in the morning tomorrow, well, late tonight, early in the morning for your day on Thursday, working its way inland throughout the day, as we have the same type of pattern going for the time being. Fog advisory until 9 a.m. once again in weather headline. Warm and humid conditions return. Rain chances also return at some point. Cool temperatures also returning. When will that be? I think we need that to help our Christmas spirit. We'll take a look at that later on in the full forecast to come. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. National news sources are projecting that Raphael Warnock has won the Georgia Senate runoff. The incumbent senator jumped out to an initial lead thanks to strong early voting totals and pulled away as Metro Atlanta counties continue their count. Warnock defeated Republican and football star Herschel Walker, whose campaign was plagued by scandals. The Democratic victory gives the party an outright majority in the Senate after 2 years under a 50-50 divide. We'll go to Washington for the latest on Georgia's election results later on Sunrise. We have an update to that fatal triple stabbing we brought to you yesterday. The stabbings happened at a home in the 3000 block of Circle Street in Victoria. Officers say they found 3 people with multiple stab wounds when they got to the scene. 2 victims were taken to a local hospital for treatment. One victim, an 8-year-old boy, was later airlifted to a San Antonio hospital. He's in critical condition. A 55-year-old victim identified as Ruben Salinas Jr. died from his injuries. The suspect arrested at the scene. This is the suspect in that triple stabbing. 27-year-old Joseph Jordan Garcia. He faces a murder charge in 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Authorities say this was an isolated family violence incident. A man was shot and killed by Refugio County deputies in Woodsboro after deputies say the man fired several shots at them. They responded to a home in the 200 block of Pugh Street early Tuesday after getting a call from a man identified as 24-year-old Franco Miguel Anzaldúa. Anzaldúa's mother told the sheriff that her son said he wanted to commit suicide by a cop. 2 deputies are now on paid leave while the shooting is under investigation by Texas Rangers. Guilty on all counts. That's the verdict against the Trump Organization and the former president's real estate company charged with fraud and other financial crimes. What comes next is less certain.
A New York jury has convicted the family business that made former President Donald Trump a billionaire, finding the Trump Organization guilty of criminal tax fraud.
Criminal convictions, in contrast to prior civil matters. And the broader message, right? This was a case about cheating, lying, greed.
Prosecutors said for 15 years, executives at the Trump Organization leaned on the company to evade income taxes on rent, private school tuition, and luxury cars. The case was built around testimony from the company's former finance chief, Alan Weisselberg, who previously pleaded guilty to manipulating the company's books to reduce his taxes. Weisselberg testified in exchange for a 5-month jail sentence.
Alan, any message for Donald Trump?
Back behind us.
Trump himself was not on trial, but prosecutors claimed Trump was not blissfully ignorant. They showed Trump's initials on a salary reduction memo, which investigators say cheated tax authorities. And they showed checks signed by Trump, which they say funded Weisselberg's grandkids' private school tuition. In a new interview, the Manhattan district attorney referring to yesterday's verdict as only one chapter.
We paused today because this is quite consequential, a criminal conviction for the former president's namesake corporations. But the work continues.
The Trump Organization called the verdict preposterous.
We'll certainly be appealing, of course.
At sentencing next month, the company faces a $1.7 million fine, but could face wider fallout from banks and other firms whose corporate policies ban them from doing business with felons. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Former President Trump blasted the verdict, calling it part of a witch hunt by Democrats. The officers who defended the U.S. Capitol on January 6 were awarded gold Congressional Medals of Honor. During a ceremony in the Capitol Rotunda, they were given the medals. The awards come the same day. The committee investigating the violent attack on the Capitol says they will submit criminal referrals to the Department of Justice. All right, get your cell phone. Scan this QR code. It's our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. You can get breaking news alerts, vote in our viewer poll, get the latest news, weather, and sports, and learn all about our ongoing contest right there on the app. Submit those news tips and photos. The time is now 6:37 on your Wednesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. This holiday season, it's the time of giving, and the food bank needs your help to make someone else's holiday much brighter.
In Washington, following Georgia's Senate runoff election. Up next, a look at that pivotal race and what Raphael Warnock's win means for both parties.
Take a look at the first one on top of the radar. Seeing a few rain showers way out there near Freeport. Coming in a little line there to the east of Bay City. Mostly dry in the Crossroads region currently. What are the rain chances? They'll be improving as we go through time, that is. We'll take a look at that coming up.
Do you have pain, numbness, or burning in your hands or feet?
I got my flexibility back. Pain is gone.
Prickling pain often caused by peripheral neuropathy?
The Zappo feeling has gone away and there's no pain.
Are you suffering from chronic knee pain and stiffness? Or have you been told that knee surgery is your only option?
Now that I've had this treatment and I can walk a little bit, I feel like I got my life back.
Call Neurogenics now. Our physician-run medical offices in Victoria are helping our Texas patients move on from their chronic knee pain and their pain and numbness from peripheral neuropathy without surgery and without medications. Our treatments are covered by Medicare and most insurance.
You can move around, you can go back to what you used to do.
To get relief just for my toes, it makes me feel like $1 million.
Call Neurogenics now. Our unique non-drug, non-surgical, and non-chiropractic treatment program is helping our Texas patients end their chronic knee pain and peripheral neuropathy pain. Call us now. Neurogenics is standing by to help you move on from the pain.
With Sonic's 2 for $5 menu, you get 2 delicious things for only $5. How will you know which 2 to choose? Don't ask us. That's a rhetorical question. And everyone knows 2 for $5 is better than 1, which is helpful if you struggle with decision making. The Sonic 2 for $5 menu.
Sonic.
Good morning. It's just about 20 minutes away from the 7 a.m. hour. take a look at the big picture here. We're under a warm air mass here in South Texas, obviously with the temperatures in the 80s. Subtropical jet stream still bringing in moisture from the Pacific into western Texas, and along the boundary just to the north of that is the frontal boundary itself in Oklahoma. And this stream of moisture continues all the way into the eastern parts of the United States. The front will get closer to this upper level boundary right here with the rainfall, causing some heavy rain coming up potentially by you later in the day on a Wednesday and Thursday. And then finally we'll see the change in the upper level pattern, which will allow this front to get closer to us as we head toward the first part of next week and allowing that cool air to get into the Crossroads region. Looking forward to that. Future tracker right quick, cloudy skies, foggy conditions in the Crossroads currently, fog advisory till 9 a.m. and rain out of the forecast for now, but it'll be coming in as that front gets closer to us, and then it'll pass through. And then some chillier temperatures that come our way. That is all in the 7-day outlook. We'll take a look at it in detail before we go a little bit later on. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey. The Refugio Bobcats, Edna Cowboys, and Cuero Gobblers are the only remaining teams left in the Texas high school playoffs. Sports director Gino Perez has more.
Howdy, Crossroads. The Refugio Bobcats swept the Shiner Comanches this season, beating them in district, then again in the regional finals. This is a major feat for the Bobcats since losing to the Comanches in the playoffs the past 2 seasons, but the season is still far from over. Refugio is prepping to take on the Timpson Bears in the state semifinals. Refugio has 1 loss on the year, which came against Hitchcock. Bobcat head coach Jason Herring said the Timpson Bears are similar to the Bulldogs since each team runs the same scheme on offense and have big-time playmakers on both sides of the ball. The Edna Cowboys are coming off a dominant win over the Llano Yellow Jackets to make it to the state semifinals for the first time in 8 years. The Cowboys have 1 loss on the season, and it came in week 3 against a team still playing, the Refugio Bobcats. Edna will play last year's state champions of Class 3A Division II, the Franklin Lions. The Lions moved up to Class 3A Division I during the realignment that took place earlier in the year. Edna head coach Jimmy Mitchell said he and the team believe they can make it this far, but knows they are not done yet. Also, the Cuero Gobblers are making it to the state semifinals 2 times in a row under head coach Jared Fekoch as his first year as head coach. That's your 25 Sports Now.
We want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. The results of the nation's final midterm election are in. Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock has won re-election in a closely watched runoff race, defeating Republican challenger Herschel Walker. With Warnock's win, Democrats now hold a pivotal 51-seat Senate majority.
The country's longest midterm campaign is now over.
After a hard-fought campaign, you got me for 6 more years.
Democrat Raphael Warnock re-elected to the Senate, beating embattled former football star Herschel Walker.
I'm never going to stop fighting for Georgia. And I'm not going to make any excuses now because we put up one heck of a fight.
Walker's loss marking another political defeat for nominees backed by former President Trump. Walker and Warnock forced into a runoff race less than a month after neither won 50% of the midterm vote in November. This special runoff election drew blockbuster turnout, a record-breaking near 1.9 million Georgians casting ballots early and another 1.3 million voting on Election Day.
It is my honor to utter the 4 most powerful words ever spoken in a democracy. The people have spoken.
With Warnock re-elected, Democrats have secured a 51-seat Senate majority, a crucial upper chamber edge.
This puts Democrats in a dramatically better position in the Senate. Moving forward, they get an advantage on their committees. They're able to push aside the occasional dissenter.
With that single extra seat, Democrats gain new advantages, including an easier path to move judicial nominees through Senate confirmations. And President Biden, former President Obama, and other major Democrats are all congratulating Warnock on his first full Senate term. After his 2021 runoff win, Warnock became the first black senator elected from Georgia. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
This holiday season, the Food Bank of the Golden Crescent needs your help to make someone's holiday much brighter. The Food Bank says giving not only benefits them, but it helps many agencies that they serve. Among them, Christ Kitchen and the Victoria Christian Assistance Ministry. Many of the food banks in the Crossroads depend on our local food bank.
We work with over 100 of these member agencies across our 11 counties. And so when you support us, you're supporting them also. So it's a great way to really stretch your dollar.
The food bank's new location is at 801 South Laurent Street in Victoria. If you're interested in volunteering or if you know someone who may need help from the food bank, give them a call or stop by their offices. Leading us to your viewer poll, have you donated to the food bank this year? Yes or no? Let's take a look at what y'all have said. Okay, 25% of you say yes, you have. Great work. And 75% of you say you have not. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote. You can also scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. The time is now 6:45 on your Wednesday morning. Still to come, at least one police officer was killed and several others were hurt following a suspected suicide bombing at a police station in Indonesia.
I just want to share with you how excited I am about the changes that had happened in my life. Due to the O-Shot, it has been a great influence in my life. For me, it has been a transformation. It has moved my clock 20 years back.
Come visit Texas Medical Wellness Clinic and Fountain of Youth Medical Spa in Victoria, Texas, your #1 destination for beauty and wellness.
It's getting festive around here. I love it.
Yes, 'tis the season. I'm so excited. Look at my bows.
Next live, Emma Thompson.
I go everywhere by foot. My most irritating part of the day is when I'm in the back seat thinking about ways we could get around this mess.
Plus Zoe Deutsch.
How are you as a passenger?
I don't like to brag, but I've been asked to leave cabs.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the new lawsuit against Apple AirTags.
It was just truly terrifying, and it still just feels like an experience that you just never think you're going to go through.
Lauren Hughes and another woman who is suing as a Jane Doe claim that their former partners used AirTags hidden on their cars to track their whereabouts without their knowledge. Hughes says she believes her ex placed the device she found on her wheel in order to track, harass, and threaten her.
There's some evidence out there that Apple has had issues with the product and has made some efforts to improve its safety protocols, but that, according to these women and this lawsuit, those efforts were not sufficient.
And we'll have much more on what this lawsuit could mean for Apple coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Good morning. It's about 10 minutes away from the 7 a.m. hour. And looking at the state of Texas, warm air mass covers most of the state, definitely here in Victoria, obviously. Looking at the subtropical jet, bringing in a lot of moisture from the Pacific into the northern parts of the state of Texas, all the way into Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, headed toward the east coast. There's a long line of moisture there. Front just to the north of that area. The front is finally getting the push it needs coming up by later on this week to give it movement down to the south, which will make it down here probably about like the first part of next week, of course. A little bit of a time to go yet before it actually makes its way through. Cooler air behind it, so we will see some cooling around here. Also keep our precipitation chances in play with a frontal system near the area at that time. So today we're looking at cloudy skies, partly cloudy skies throughout the day. After the fog lifts will be about 9 a.m. or so. Fog advisory for most of the crossroads of counties, except for the northern counties, until 9 a.m. today. So keep that in mind as you're traveling around. High temperatures today, well, will be in the 80s. Let's take a look at the marine forecast right quick. There's your high and low tide. Southerly winds 10 to 15 knots, 4-foot seas, slight chop in area bay waters. Water temperature 72 degrees. If you're going out, be careful out there. Your full forecast comes up one more time before we go. Carolina?
At least one police officer was killed and several others were hurt following a suspected suicide bombing at a police station in Indonesia. Police say 7 police and 1 civilian were wounded in the blast. Local media outlet Antara says the explosion took place in the morning local time. The alleged attacker is also believed to have died. A federal judge has thrown out a lawsuit against Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman for the killing of Jamal Khashoggi. The Washington Post journalist's fiancé filed a lawsuit in federal court against bin Salman for the murder. It was dismissed because as Prime Minister, bin Salman is entitled to head of state immunity. Judge John Bates expressed his uneasiness in having to throw out the case. He points out bin Salman was made a prime minister after the murder and says it was probably a ploy designed specifically so he could get immunity. Bates also issued a dismissal for former deputy head of Saudi intelligence Ahmed al-Asiri on jurisdictional grounds. The Treasury Department believes he was the ringleader of the operation to kill Khashoggi. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. State gas prices fell for the fourth consecutive week.
Victoria Eye Center and 25 News Now brings to you every Monday a Vision Health segment to learn about eye diseases and possible treatments. Tune into the segment or go to crossroadstoday.com to learn more about eye health, brought to you by Victoria Eye Center.
Hard to wrap, easy to give. From big presents to stocking stuffers, the Steel Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Find yours at steelusa.com/gift guide.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright. Come in and choose from a great in-stock selection of vehicles, or simply place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in. Plus, hundreds of vehicles are arriving daily, just in time for the holidays. Now, custom order a select 2023 Ford vehicle today. Lock in your rate, and you're protected during the Shine Bright sales event at your local Ford dealer.
This morning on GMA, wake up with Catherine Zeta-Jones live, plus her, and Backstreet's Back All Right.
Good morning, America!
With a special holiday performance from the Backstreet Boys.
I love it.
All live on Good Morning America.
You can enjoy endless entertainment and local news updates for free on our 17 over-the-air channels. Connect your TV antenna to your smart TV in 3 easy steps. Connect the coaxial cable from your antenna to the back of your TV. Select the menu button on your remote and navigate to the correct input of your antenna. Find the channel scan option and click it. Setting up your antenna will keep you entertained and informed with the latest weather updates and emergency information for free. Call or email for questions or more information. Stay connected and stay safe.
Tired of your typical clock in, clock out job? You need a rewarding career in an entertaining environment that you'll enjoy. Take yourself out of the box and come to the Victoria Television Group. We have an active, fun, creative atmosphere that can help you succeed and keep those everyday work blues away. Come join our energetic and outgoing sales team. Renew your career and learn to use skills you didn't know you had. Call us 361-575-2500 or email opportunity@victoriatelevision.com for more information.
And now it's time for today's question of the day. The Pearl Harbor National Memorial Site in Hawaii is located atop what sunken battleship? Okay, Trey, everyone on Facebook is guessing USS Arizona.
Okay, thank you so much for giving us your guess to the question of the day. I appreciate that. Ready for the answer?
Ready.
And of course, everyone was right. It was the USS Arizona.
Ah.
It's a very moving memorial. Just
why would was I thinking about Missouri?
I'm not sure.
I'll have to look that up.
There you go, but it's definitely the Arizona. If you have a chance to go there, check it out. Very inspirational there too, and just awe-inspiring as well. And so we'll be here tomorrow with another question of the day to get you going on your Thursday.
El Campo ISD has approved over $500,000 in total for adding shatter-resistant film to campus glass, building crash walls at both Hutchins and El Campo Middle School, and replacing campus doors and locks at all campuses. State gas prices fell for the 4th consecutive week. AAA reports the average gas price in Texas is $2.77 a gallon. The average gas price in Victoria County, $2.69 a gallon. That's 7 cents less than last week and 35 cents less than a month ago. The average gas price in Goliad County, $2.62 a gallon. The city of Victoria lifting some of its drought restrictions. Recent rainfall upstream has caused the Guadalupe River to rise, allowing the city to pump more water to help meet demand. As a result, the city can now re-enter stage 2. Residents are still required to limit certain types of non-essential water usage to the hours of 6 and 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. to midnight to avoid water loss through evaporation. It's going to cost you more to mail a letter next year. That's because the price of forever stamps is increasing by 3 cents from 60 to 63 cents. The price hike takes effect on January 22nd. The Postal Service says it's raising the price to keep up with inflation. Journalists at the New York Times are about to do something that hasn't been done since the 1970s, go on strike. On Thursday, more than 1,000 staffers are expected to take to the streets to protest their wages, amongst other things. The historic work stoppage is expected to last for 24 hours. Employees plan on picketing outside the Times' office early afternoon. Prominent journalist Nicole Hannah-Jones is set to speak during a solidarity rally. The News Guild of New York reports a staggering 90% of the Times' workforce is expected to take part in the protest. The Times says employees who participate will not be paid for the duration of the strike. On Saturday, the Christmas parade of lights in downtown Victoria shined through the evening as decorated floats made their way through Main Street. Local organizations went above and beyond to bring Christmas cheer this year. They were recognized by the City of Victoria with awards. About 100 participants took part, but only 4 decked-out floats got the vote. First Baptist Church won the award for Most Creative. Floresville Peanut Festival won the award for Best Use of Lights. Conmetal Contractors won the award for Spirit of Christmas, followed by Holt Cat, who took home the award for Most Use of Lights. This is a house on Tanglewood Street. Look how great it is. I love the little entrance there. You could submit your photos too. Just come to our website, crossroadstoday.com, and click on the red banner at the top that says 2022 holiday page. You'll find your way to upload your photo, and you can submit Christmas trees, pets, or Santa photos. We look forward to seeing them. And we want to invite you to get a last look at your forecast with First Windstorm team meteorologist Trey Mining. Trey, is it going to get chilly? I can't quite get into the season without a little bit of chilly.
True. Same here. We'll go above and beyond. Carolina, to bring you the weather here. Temperature is near 70 degrees currently and 81 degrees by the afternoon time. Fog advisory until 9 a.m. for most of the Crossroads counties, including Victoria County. No headlight B's, please. Looking at the temperatures, well, here in a minute, the cloud cover today, of course, we'll have a fog until 9 a.m. Then it'll begin to clear on up a little bit. We'll call it partly cloudy skies, but the clouds not going away altogether. They're pretty much going to stay in place for the several days down the road time frame for us. Today, we'll call it 81 degrees. Morning fog, mostly cloudy skies with a breeze from the south and southeast to 20 miles per hour. Overnight lows once again in the 60s to near 70. Patchy fog again along the coast working its way inland. 82 for your Thursday. Morning clouds, partly cloudy skies, and extended forecast for us. There is some cooler air finally, at least a hint of it, coming up by Tuesday of next week. In the meantime, watch out for the fog this morning. Be careful. Highs in the 80s today. Carolina?
And thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Come to crossroadstoday.com for more local news, weather, and sports. And join James, Don, Howie, Karina, and Gino today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Make it a great Wednesday.